Alrighty, let's do this. I'm gonna create a new character to show people a very easy early rune farm. And we'll start out as a wretch because we want to show that you can do it even naked. It's not that hard. And funnily enough, my main character, I started as a wretch. You can get a golden seed just for safety if you want that extra heal, but you don't have to. Alright, let's try this out. Hopefully it will work this time. I had a routing problem earlier because Ronnie didn't show up after I got Torrent, and I think there is a bug with if you don't do it immediately after getting Torrent, she just will not show up for you until you get way later into the game, which is pretty awful, and you don't want to have that happen because Spirit Ashes are incredibly helpful for this farm. If you're not, you do have to pick that item up. It will not let you out the door if you don't have it, which I think is an interesting choice they made, considering some of the other things that go on in the in this. Anyway, yeah, let's go get our butt kicked by the first boss, and once that happens, it should be relatively easy to show you guys this route. I think what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of a long thing just getting set up, because it just makes it easier for people who are feeling less confident about the game and want maybe something a little something that will make their quality of life a little bit easier. You freaking hurt. I don't know why I'm actually trying to... Oh. That's interesting. I wasn't actually dead, but it killed me. Huh. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to get Torrent set up so we have a mount, which, makes life easier. Then what we're going to do is get the summons from Rennie, however you pronounce their name. And then we're going to get access to the Spirit Tuner, because if you have the materials to do it, it makes life easier. I don't know if that one's necessary, but I'm not going to risk it. Yeah, so the Spirit Tuner, if you're unaware, will let you upgrade your Spirit Ashes, which is super nice. And it's a very easy quest to miss if you're not one of those people who obsessively talks to the NPCs until their dialogue trees are exhausted, which I am one of them. Okay, so first step here is we're going to go to the church. Yep. We're going to go to the church here. That's going to unlock this for us. Yeah, I feel like the beginning of this game is maybe not the best design, because it's really easy to miss out on key stuff. Like, I ran around without Torrent for hours because I just was, I had no idea where to go to get Torrent. It wasn't obvious. It's still not obvious that this is how you do it. Wait. There we go. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and head sort of northeasterly through the woods. We're going to avoid the road so we don't have to fight the soldiers along the way. It'll make it a little bit faster to do this. And we're going to grab the map so that I can show you all where we're going and that sort of thing. And hopefully we'll get Torrent quickly, and then we'll be able to go back, get the bell so you can summon the Spirit Ashes. And then we're going to unlock the Roundtable. So I'm not 100% sure about the order of these graces you have to do it in. This path that I'm taking right now, I have found works 100% of the time, and so that's what I'm going to do, because it's a Souls game, and those the event markers and things like that are just really opaque, or the triggers are really opaque for some of these things. You know, NPCs coming and going, and it's not obvious, you know, what the rhyme or reason of it is. For example, you may have found our good friend, everyone's favorite hyena, Patches, lurking in one of the dungeons here. Oops. And you know, he becomes a vendor if you help him out. And I went to Volcano Manor, and he appeared there suddenly and became a vendor there, which was interesting. But my friend went to a totally different location, and he was there, and then until he got to Volcano Manor. So I missed out on an entire Patches location. Alright, so this is where we get Torrent. I don't know if you have to ride Torrent first, but I'm going to, because that has worked previously, to get this to... Oh, let's skip the cutscene. Yay. Dialogue.
I can play turning to aid you.
Yep. Sure, I'll take you. Even though you can't get there without killing bosses.
It will Torrent to treat him with...
Okay, so let's get this set up. Wait, this one, and then, oh my goodness. I find it strange that some of the controls don't map the same way. Okay, so we've just gotten Torrent. I think what we have to do is teleport back to the church immediately without stopping at any other graces. I think that's how it works. Yep, and here she is. Okay, Renna. Not Rani, Renna. Is Rani her sister, maybe? Yes. Okay, I've got this. Cool. Spirit calling bell, ashes, wolves, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Okay. Nice. Thank you. And we'll talk to you. Just get the... Okay. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go back over here, and we're going to use this spirit well over there to get up into Stormvale. By going north here, there's some ruins you'll see on the other side of this rise, and there's one of those spirit wells next to it, and we can go up to where the giants are, and we can bypass the gate where all of the bad things are, because this game really rewards you for taking the indirect route. Like, there's so many places that you would think are inaccessible if you go up the front, but are incredibly easy to get through if you take the time to go around the side. Alright, this rune over here on our left actually will spawn a boss if we get too close, which I could do for fun. And profit. Yep, there it is. Whee! Deathbird. Once you get a little beefier, you get a war, an ash of war that produces like an elemental effect. He's a lot easier to kill, so you don't need to mess with him right now. All right, cool. Here's our resident war ash guy. He's like, yeah, do you want to fight? Yeah, you do. So we talk to him, get it set up. Very nice. Okay, so we're gonna head back west along this road, which is to the right. It's also very dark; you can't see it very easily because it's a dirt road, not paved. And we're gonna go to this shack over here that has Rodrika in it, and she is a spirit tuner, but you have to exhaust her dialogue over here so that she will appear at the Roundtable, which is the place we're going to unlock next. So we hop off here. There's also a tree seed down the road right there if people want and or need it. The thing is like with this at Soul Level 1, it's right there, down there. You're going to get one shot by the majority of things, so it kind of is a moot point. So, yep. Okay, cool. We got the jellyfish. The jellyfish does poison. Is that it? Yeah, okay. Yep. Cool. Alright, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go up the hill, but instead of going up to the entrance to the castle over there, we're actually going to go through these arches, slightly to the left here. And we're going to just keep going northerly, in a more or less northerly direction here. And we're going to end up on sort of this cliff face with a bridge, a broken bridge here, and one of those creepy omen finger licker ladies. I don't know. They're weird and wizened and terrible. I'll let her read my fingers, just to be, totally thing. So this is a great example of the game rewarding you for exploring, because I was like, oh, there must be an item over here, right, at the end of this bridge. And I did this all on foot, mind you. I didn't have Torrent at this point. I was just running around like a maniac. You can go do this. And this path along the cliff here has some wolves, which is, a little spicy if you're on foot. But if you're on Torrent, easy. Just ride over everything, no problem. Not an issue. I will say the club is kind of a funky weapon to fight on horseback with, just because of the way it swings. If you've got the thing, don't go off the edge there, which I've almost done like twice in a row. So yeah, we'll go through all these wolves, and follow the edge of this. There's actually an entrance into the keep right here that has a quest item in it if you need a grape. Alright, so now we're here, Laramie of the Lakes. There's also a sorcerer dude right there who sells some beginner level sorceries if you need those. But if we rest here, well, our favorite waifu will come to us, and she wants to chat about, how she's been using you to make her life easier. So we'll go, and she will take us to the keep. Okay. Just taking a little extra spicy time to load. That was interesting. Alright, so now we're here in Roundtable Hold, which is sort of a hub, but not quite. Now, here is Roderica. Check it out. And you talk to her, finish her dialogue tree. Okay. Now, we want to talk to our buddy, the blacksmith over here, Hugh. He is a cool guy. We can talk about Roderica, and she'll be like, oh, she's a spirit tuner maybe. And I always exhaust his dialogue tree just to make sure that there's no problems, because it's a Souls game, and if you don't talk to everyone all the time, weird things can happen sometimes. Quest chains break, blah blah. So yeah, don't risk it. And then you could tell her what he said. Yay. And yep. So once she repeats her dialogue, come back here, talk to Hugh. Okay, and talk about Roderica. Would you watch over her? Okay, cool. Now, you're like, okay, cool, what happened here? Well, what you need to do is rest at the Table of Grace here, Table of Lost Grace. And once you do that, you'll notice she's not there anymore. And if you come back here, she's a merchant, and she's gotten rid of her cloak, which you can find later. Yep, and so she does spirit tuning, which you can see here. It requires grave glovewort or ghost glovewort, depending on what type of thing it is. Obviously, we don't have that because we haven't been into any things of that sort of thing. But it's fine. So, we got the Table of Lost Grace. Awesome. Now, on to the main part. This is where we basically are going to we're going to go back to the War Master Shack, the guy who sells stuff, and we're going to head east along this road right there. That is the battle plan. So, hopefully, we can get this to be fairly painless. Also, don't go in at night. Alright, here's the road. I know it's super not obvious. And actually, in that area I went to before where we went around the... watch out for the traps there, by the way. In that area we went to before with the... there's that church with the dude who sells beginner-level sorceries. If you continue north following that road, you can actually get to there's a merchant at the edge of the lakes that will sell you a lantern, which is an item that you can use for lighting things, and it doesn't take up a weapon slot. It's like it's a usable item. Oh, sorry. That's kind of clever of them. It actually matters what direction you do it from. I didn't even know that was a thing. Right. You pot guys are really weird. So if you listen to him, this is where I sort of got the notion to go in that direction. He talks about the Caelid wilds and the red rot and that sort of thing. So he's sort of the impetus for why I went there on my main character who's soul level 1. It's just like, oh, let's just see what we can see. All right, we're going to touch this grace because this guy up on the bridge there, he hit hard, and if he hit us, we die. So we don't want to we don't want to die. He hit hard. Okay, we're going to go around him pretty easily as long as we stay a decent distance away. Now, there's a merchant right here. He sells some cookbooks and stuff like that. We're going to go around the graveyard because skeletons, I don't want to fight them. But we're still following the road. It's on our left here, as you can see. Until we get to this grace that's downhill here, outside of the these ruins. And we're actually heading over that way. And you can see in the distance. You can see that boss there on the left, just on the left side of the screen. The Tibia Mariner. Wait, is it a Tibia Mariner? Really? Like the bone? I didn't even put that together until this moment because I wasn't paying attention to it. Is it a tibia? It is. Oh, man. Didn't even notice that. Okay. We're going to ignore him, though, because it's not important at this juncture to do that at all. Those guys are actually not that bad to fight as long as you've got something, like, if you find a war ash, an ash of war that does holy damage, oh, so easy to kill them. And there are a couple of those lurking out in the world that are relatively painless to get, although I can't remember specifically off the top of my head. Now, you may notice in this area, once we cross over, there's a church there. Don't go to the church. You'll get invaded. And if you're soul level 1, she hurt. It's very painful. So we're going to ignore that. We're going to go up this ramp here to this wall to Caelid instead. Less painful. We're going to touch this bonfire. And if you look down that way, that's more or less where we're going. It's like down in that direction, way over there. But the trick is we're actually going to stay off the road because there's a lot of bad things on the road, like these scarlet rot zombie dudes. And once we get over here, there's going to be horrible giant dog monsters. See, now you can see on the left-hand side of my screen, there's that spirit summon sign. It's like, hey, you want to summon some spirits? And you're like, oh, maybe. This cart right here has the greatsword in it, if that's what you want. So you can literally start the game at soul level 1, get the greatsword, and have fought literally nothing except for that boss that you have to die to. So if you want to do a greatsword play right there, easy. All right. Now, you may be wondering, why am I touching all the graces? You know, why am I sort of taking the safe way? Well, the short answer is that, you know, soul level 1, you die. If you touch it, you... Oops. Okay. If you get hit by an attack, you die. So it's not really worth it to screw around too much. We're going to kind of skirt the outside of the village. Watch out for the flaming head guy here. But they're pretty... As long as you're paying attention, they're pretty easy to deal with. We're just going to go around the left here, head down the road to the witch right here, this seer, whatever you want to call it, fortune teller, creepy lady who's using her foot as a hand. So this festival is actually the other thing that I was like, oh, okay, I'm on the right path. We're going to touch Grace here, just so that things are a little more obvious. Now, unfortunately, I didn't go and get the map stele, however you pronounce that, for that middle region we just passed through. And, yeah. So, from here, you can see there's some dudes walking on the road there. They're bad news. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to cut left to this fire that you can see in the distance. That is a merchant. And he is a nice dude.
Welcome, dear customer. Yes, right this way.
And there is a Grace right here, next to the edge of the swamp. I want to say there's a war art rolling around here in a scarab too, somewhere on the edge of the swamp there. Anyway, now we're gonna head back west, back up to the road, just so that people don't miss where we were, and that sort of thing. Just to make it easier for the people who are not as familiar with the game. I mean, we're all not that familiar. It's been out for 10 odd days, but it's still. It can still be really jarring if people are riding around and you don't know where they are. So all we're doing is following the road. We're going to stay away from those guys, though, because they hurt. They've got a pretty decent reach with that polearm of theirs. But the other thing, too, is they have a terrible, terrible, terrible homing attack with their spit. And it will destroy you. All right, now from here, you can see that church right there. And you're like, aha, I want to make a beeline for that church. There's got to be something there. Well, don't do that, because there's a dragon out front. You don't want to fight a dragon. You're Soul Level 1. Dragons are painful. You've got no war ashes. You've got no armor, no nothing. Soul Level 1 dragon, that's just, I mean, you can do it. I can't say I recommend it. But anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're going to sneak around the side, because this game really, really rewards flanking. And going in from the back, the side, that sort of thing, coming in from an unexpected angle. And here we are, Cathedral Dragon Communion. And so you can touch the altar, and it's got all these awesome dragon spells, as long as you have dragon hearts. And you can get the cookbook. Now we'll touch this Grace here. Now this is the last Grace we're touching before this is the penultimate Grace we're touching before we get to the farm area. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down here. Now you might have seen this Dark Rider, this Nazgul looking dude out there on the road. He bad news. We don't want to fight him, so we're going to kind of juke around him. But, oh, is that dragon? Sounds like a dragon, maybe. We're going to go around real quick just so I can show you this guy. This is where the map is. Did we avoid him? Yeah, okay, cool. This guy right here, this merchant, has one of the best things in the game. This. Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 15. Rotbone Arrow, Rotbone Bolts. A lot of bosses are vulnerable to Scarlet Rot. So you get a bow and arrow, you put, 8 to 10 shots into him, and suddenly that boss is taking constant damage. Now here's the stele, which now I can show you where we are. So essentially, I haven't grabbed the one that's here. So we basically did this. We went from here to the church, to the gate front, to this right here. Then we teleported back to the church, and then we teleported back here. We ran up this hill, used the Spirit Spring to jump on here, ran over these ruins to the War Master's shack, talked to him, went here to Stormhill Shack, talked to her, and then we ran north along here onto this bridge. We got off the bridge, ran along this cliffside here, and came around here to this thing, and then we teleported to the Roundtable, and then we teleported back to the War Master Shack, and then this is where the farming actually, the beginning to the farm run begins. You followed this road here, all the way over here, through the village. We missed the church, the burning church, or whatever it's called, the flaming church. It's smoldering. I don't remember. It's right here. No, we went right. We got this. We followed sort of along the right-hand side here. Then when we got to this one, we switched and we went on the other side here. Came around, touched that, and then we sort of fell on this. We followed on this side, went to the merchant, down here, back up, over on this side, did that one, went around, came in from the flanking here, and then we came up around like this, talked to the merchant, grabbed the steel. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to head straight down here. This is where the Grace is. Oh god! This is the guy. Anyway, this is where we're going. Oh yeah, and there's a seed right here. I forgot about that. Handy. Although, pretty much everything here can one-shot you, so it's, you know, it's kind of moot having enough things. But yeah, so basically there's some wolves, some dogs, bird guy right here. It's all very scary. But once you get to the Grace, it's whatever, right? So this is the farm right here. These soldiers right here are going to assault these dogs. And it's basically two NPC factions fighting each other. So you don't have to fight them at all if you don't want to. And I'll show you sort of the secret to that. And you can get between 5,000 and 7,500 odd souls per round of this. Now, the thing to consider here is that the dogs are very strong. And actually everyone's really strong. You know, no upgraded weapons, no nothing. So one option is to start the fight and sit here and do nothing and just watch it go down. But I don't think that's the correct answer. And the reason for that is, you see the bird right over there? That bird drops a little over 1,700 souls. Or runes, sorry. Which means it's really worthwhile to get that bird to come down to this fight and get wrecked by these soldiers. And also you can see on my screen now, we can actually summon our ashes. Which means that we can use the ashes here, which is why we did that whole thing in the first place, is we wanted to be able to have ashes help us in the cleanup of this. So what you can do is you can just kind of come up here and give me a little whack. Oop, I missed. Oh. Give him a little whack. Now you have to be careful because he's fast, but what you kind of want to do is stay on the edge of his targeting range and draw him into the fight, because you can see he's watching the soldiers there, but he's not close enough to... Oh, there he goes. Okay. So yeah, once he gets engaged, cakewalk, no problem. There's also this knight guy over here that you can get to fight. He drops the partisan and other parts of his kit. His horse drops the usual stuff. You do need to be really careful, though, because he's got a fireball attack that will kill you in one hit. So, yeah, if you get close enough to the dog with him, he will be like, oh, I gotta fight this dog. There he goes. See? The other thing you have to be careful of, too, is once these dogs are sort of killed off there, you need to lead the soldiers to the other creatures. Otherwise, you're going to have a very bad time. Oh, there you go. 1,781 runes, because the bird died. Cakewalk. Alright, looks like all the dogs that were here got pulled by me running through the first time. Yeah, look at that. I've got 3,644 runes, and I have literally not fought anything except for poking like a random thing. It's great. I wonder if... Oh, it looks like the knight's still alive. That's too bad, but he's dismounted, which is useful. Oh, he just died. Did he drop his stuff? No. Well, that's a bummer. Yeah, look at this. I've got, 4,566 souls. And I've done basically nothing. The fight in this area is weird because it basically travels all around. And if you... There's all kinds of factors that affect, like, how it goes and that sort of thing. And sometimes the dogs win, sometimes the soldiers win. And it's, preferentially you want the soldiers to win by a little bit, because they're a lot easier to kill than the dogs are, because the dogs can one-shot you. That's just the nature of being Soul Level 1 in this area. Especially if you're naked, deprived with a club, right? But, yeah. Oh, another key thing to show you is this is the Stake of Marika right here. So if you die in this area, it's really easy to get your souls back. There will be a dog right there, but it won't. It's ignoring you because it's eating the corpse of its other dog. So you can just ride in, down, start the fight, and those guys will go at each other, and you can grab your runes at your leisure. It's not a problem. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, see, this dog won his battle, it looks like. Did they drop anything? No. Yeah, the all of the guys here will drop their equipment that they're wearing. Like it's a scarlet tabard and foot soldier helmets and a couple of other things. I haven't gotten the sword from the knight, the foot soldier guys. I have got gotten a lot of short swords from this though, but the Radon armor I have not, or the not the red mane swords or whatever. I don't remember exactly what they're called. I haven't gotten any of those to drop yet, but the trumpeter guys, I've definitely gotten their stuff. So it looks like the dogs are going to win this one, interestingly. Oops. The dogs won. That was a very risky maneuver on my part, running through there like that. So, let's see here. How many things are left? We got one dog. And that's it, huh? Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to equip my... oops, wrong button. I'm going to equip my ashes. I keep using the wrong button because it's slightly different. So what we can do now is we've got this one dog here. Maybe there's another. I didn't see what happened to it. But because the stake is, the summon stake is right here. You can see it right there, backlit by the Erd tree. Because we can do that summon, well, these, the wolves. Oh, wow, that was super close. Yeah, he will probably wreck them, but that's okay. This is more just for grins. Because now that you can upgrade your dudes, it doesn't matter so much, right? You can upgrade your minions, so it's fine. You know, you grab some Gravewort and you're good. So yeah, I got 7,692 souls from basically screwing around here. I'm gonna oh, there's one soldier here. This area is a little funky. You can absolutely get stuck on stuff like this guy. Oh, has. And those crossbow dudes will shoot at you. Ow. Alright, well, he died. So yeah, the geometry is a little messy here, and you can have items get stuck where you can't get them, or your runes can get lost, which is a real bummer. So yeah, let's. I'll show you the super passive way to do this, though. What you do is you just, you start off here at your site, your race, and so everything's reset. The soldiers are all there, that sort of thing. And if you ride this way, you'll start to hear trumpets going off pretty soon. And that is the attack signal that these guys are going to do. What you have to do, though, be careful, is don't get too close to the soldiers. Because if you do, they will aggro on you instead of going to attack the dogs. So what I like to do is I like to hop up here and aggro this bird by giving him a whack or a pass by. If you're lucky, you can actually get it to jump off the cliff sometimes when it does its like backstep move, but I haven't gotten it beyond more than, like, chance levels. Alright, so we want to aggro him. You need to get close enough that he'll do his swooping attack, but he can't get you if you move perpendicularly. And if you sort of pull him into the crowd here, yep, there he goes. He's engaged with one of those knights, which is excellent. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the dogs. This white guy right here does a howl, and if you look at his compatriots, they will also howl. And now they're sort of chasing me down. And I can lead them into the fracas down here. And I don't have to fight them at all. Now, the knight guy here is a little bit far to pull into this fight here. Or, sorry, there's not enough dogs. Like, if the dogs are somewhere in this region, it's really easy to get the knight to fight them and die to them. But if they're over here on this edge, the eastern edge, it's a lot harder. So I highly recommend just not trying it. I would just, stick with this here. You'll notice there's quite a lot of high rock like spaces here. They can get to at all of them unless you go over here. This is like the safest spot I've been able to discover, because they will come after you even if you're sneaking. Now, the crossbow dudes on the tower right there will shoot at you, but all you gotta do is get off Torrent and crouch. Boom. They can't get up this wall to get at you, and what'll end up happening is if you just sit here and kind of watch this play out, the soldiers will eventually move back to their starting positions, assuming they win. If not, the dogs will move back to their starting positions and just kind of hang out. And then that's when you summon your ash spirits and clean it up. Like I said, though, these fights are highly variable with their time and, how many souls you get, because if you get, one of the dogs with the golden eyes, or you get the crow with the golden eyes, you can get a lot of souls from them. Other times, almost all the soldiers will live, and it's a pain in the butt to fight them if there's a horde of them. And so, it might be worth resetting there, or, what have you. But yeah, it's a pretty low-key way to do it. As you can see, I've gotten hit, once? I think? I don't even remember getting hit, but yeah, it's very low-key. You cannot summon... The other thing that is important to note is you cannot summon from this vantage point. It's not within range of that that rod, which you can see there in the distance, right by that 19 that was showing up. But if you chill out on that rock over there or on this, you can do it. And if you have, one of the archery or ranged type guys, you can add a little extra DPS. I tend to help out the soldiers if the dogs look like they're going to win, because the dogs do win sometimes. If not, I usually come by and just bonk. Just give a little whack. The soldiers are... pretty beefy. I don't have any, I don't have any weapon arts on this thing, so... Oh, that's weird. I was not accepting my input on the left side there. You have to be very careful about hitting and running with the... Oh. Uh-oh, I wonder if my controller's broken. Maybe I just need to do it more firmly. Anyway. Yeah. Oh! You do not want to get involved in fire pots. Fire pots are bad. Fire pots will take off most, if not all, of your health, assuming they hit you. Yeah, you can kind of casually just ride in. Once they do that swoop, if you get caught by that attack, you will die. So, don't... Ooh! See, right there. I got blasted by the pot, and that gave that guy enough time to swoop in and whack me. So, yeah, you respawn at the Stake of Marika. Now, or Marika? I don't know how you pronounce it. Now, you'll notice, oh my god, there's a dog next to me. Oh no, don't worry. It's eating that. It's fine. It doesn't matter. You can just come in here. You can see the trumpeter guy blow his trumpet. And now we're back on in this fight. Just remember, if you get too close, the soldiers will aggro on you, and that's very bad. So we just rinse and repeat. We come over here, we grab the bird, because, 1,700 extra souls for basically free. It does have a weird hitbox. Okay. Yeah. I recommend tacking perpendicularly just to prevent any issues, but, Ooh! Yeah, like that. Yeah, once the bird's stuck in, you're all good. You don't have to worry about it. And it's actually surprisingly weak to the soldiers. Like, the soldiers will just wreck it. And then we'll come up here. It looks like one of the dogs already got pulled from being too close to the fight, which is fine. So we'll get this guy. Yep. he howls, that guy howls, and the other one that would be between them would howl, and they'll chase you, and you can pull them into the fight, you know, and get some extra souls. Look at that. Got 15k souls, and I've died once, and that was only because I was screwing around and I didn't summon my my minions to fight in my place. So yeah, this is what I discovered. I hope it's very helpful to for the new people. You know, I understand this is a very daunting game and that sort of thing, but you know, you can accomplish amazing things even at Soul Level 1. I've gotten very far to almost near that Erd tree. I've gotten very close to the Erd tree. I haven't been able to get in because you have to kill progression bosses to get in there. Unfortunately, it is locked by a barrier. But yeah. And let's see if I can get out of aggro range just so that I can show you on the map where we came from and all that. I think if I... There we go. Okay, so we came out of this building, we got this grace, that sort of thing, all that, did all this stuff, which I've outlined once more, but the path to the pardon me, the path to the farm is you come out here, touch this grace, church, go over here, jump onto this thing, and then you can go directly north from taking the spirit thing here, directly north onto this road down here. Go across the bridge, follow it along through that sunken area. Do not go to the church. Hook right. Ignore the dogs. Jump over the wall. Get this. Follow this along this side to avoid the giant dogs. Get this one. Follow it on this side to avoid the horrible things in that town. Grab this. Also continue on that same side, kind of following the edge of the swamp if you want, and then you can tack over to this one. Go around the outside here. Come into the Dragon Cathedral from the outside. Don't go through the front door. You will get destroyed. Touch that. The stela that has the map is right here, I believe. Something like that. The merchant who sells the rotbone stuff, which is great right there. Just follow the road straight down. This is about where the fight starts in this area. Get the grace. And yeah, you can rinse and repeat in this location as many times as you want. It's super easy. As you can see, I've got, what, 18k, 19k souls now from just a few minutes of screwing around. Like, I'm not even trying to do anything difficult here. So yeah, it's possible at Soul Level 1. And hopefully, you know, if you're not afraid of dying and trying again and getting used to how Torrent moves and all that sort of thing. Oh, the dogs have won this time. That's exciting. That's usually a lot harder to deal with because they are way stronger than you are. And they can kill you in one hit, basically. Let's see if the guys have dropped anything here. No drops. The dogs and all that drop hefty beast bones, beast blood, and I think that's it. And then the soldiers drop their equipment, so you can get that. This knight, who I didn't draw on this time, drops the partisan, which is a cool spear weapon if you want that. And yeah, let's see if we can kill this doggo. It's important to... there we go. Nice. It's important to remember, they can kill you in one hit. Oh, what did he drop? Hefty beast bone. Nice. So you can farm this. And the other thing, too, is that sometimes they'll drop those small consumable runes. And so I've actually gotten well over 99 just doing this for, like, an hour. You know, kind of semi-AFKing for it. And yeah, that's how you get 20k in... what, 20 minutes? Really easy. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.